Speaker number 6, Jerry Starke. Please don't walk on Mother's roses. Please don't walk on Mother's roses, Jerry Starke.
Toastmaster John, ladies and gentlemen, my story begins as the orchestra was playing the last set of the evening, marking the end of an absolutely beautiful day. The bride came over to us and said, "Mom, Dad, we're leaving now. Thank you for everything, and we love you very much." And as the two of them left, I could see her mother's lips quivering, her eyes welling up. It wasn't just our only daughter that was married, but the last of 3 children to leave the nest. And that evening, the two of us went home to an empty house and were placed on the parents' inactive list. And my role as Ivan the Terrible came to an end. I could not imagine life without my thundering herd. When the children were home and people would pass our house, they knew someone lived there. Our house was alive, it was vibrant, it was busy, it was noisy. But now they're gone, and everything is peaceful and quiet. But at times the silence is deafening. But even though the nest is empty, the house lights still burn brightly, and soon a completely new and different atmosphere is beginning to evolve, and we are loving it. Now when the telephone rings, it's usually for one of us. We made a substantial down payment on a fishing boat just with money we saved on bologna, milk, and past due parking fines. But what a wonderful time to be alive. We are discovering a whole new world, a world that was waiting just for the two of us. And then it happened. The telephone rang. It was my number 1 son. "Hi, Dad." "Say, Dad, I'm contemplating a career change. Would it be okay if I move back home for a few months? I need a little time to get in touch with my feelings." I received a nice letter from my little guy describing his job, his apartment, his new girlfriend. "P.S. Dear Dad, I decided to go on to graduate school. Would like to talk to you about tuition." We didn't plan for that. And at that moment, our golden pond seemed farther and farther away. But as time went on, a pattern developed. And after comparing notes with some of our friends, we realized that our children, God bless them, like many other adult children, are dumping their little problems on their parents. Now, some parents don't see this as a problem, and I lean that way. We are willing to bear the burdens of our adult children in order to strengthen the parental relationship, and this is good. Yet there are those who have given their children wings, and like the mother eagle, have prepared their young for the day when they must fly alone. Well, one evening the two of us reached a decision. I would like to share that decision with you this morning. And if you disagree, I hope you won't judge us too harshly. But I delivered that decision on Father's Day. Father's Day. Not nearly as important as Mother's Day, but they all came home to pay homage to the king. We were sitting on the patio engaging in good conversation. The First Lady was inside preparing their favorite dish. And as part of my strategy, I casually directed their attention to the beautiful flowers their mother had planted. "Kids, you see that rose bush? That rose bush is 15 years old. Now, you may or may not remember, but when you were children, you pooled your nickels and dimes and you gave it to her on her birthday. And she's cared for that rose bush all these years, just as she has loved and cared for each one of you. And while I'm on the subject of loving and caring, your mother and I realize that your new world is filled with its little problems. But these problems can be very easily placed in one of two groups: problems of the mind or problems of the heart. The family car isn't running right. You're having a problem cutting out a difficult pattern for a pleated skirt. You need a little extra cash to cover an unplanned expense. These are all problems of the mind. And if you ever need our help, all you have to do is dial M for Mom or D for Dad, and we will answer on the first ring. But if you're unhappy in your job, you're unhappy in your marriage, your world isn't what you'd like it to be, these are problems of the heart, and we may not be able to help you. All your mother and I can do is sit in the grandstand and cheer as loudly as we can. Do you remember when you were little? I would take you out in the backyard and throw the ball. Once in a while you'd catch it. Most of the time you would drop it, become discouraged, sit down on the grass and cry. And I would pick you up and assure you that even Willie Mays dropped the ball when he was your age. Hey kids, that was yesterday. Today if you drop the ball, we can't run onto the field and throw our arms around you and make everything all right. Only you and you alone must pick it up and go on with the game. A game we know you can win. So the next time you feel the need to share a problem of the heart with your parents, especially your mother, pause for a moment and remember, you also share the pain. It would be the same as trampling on that rose bush. And she has endured over a half century of life's little slings and arrows. Don't you think that's enough? Again, the silence was deafening, but the message got through. And that evening, as they were preparing to leave, there were the usual hugs and kisses and high fives. And as I embraced each one of them, I whispered in their ear, "May God go with you, love. And please don't walk on Mother's roses." Ladies and gentlemen, friends of Toastmasters, now that this matter has been sufficiently resolved, I humbly beg your leave. For my lady and I are going fishing on our golden pond.
And our 1988 champion, Jerry Starke.
Early in our married life, Ellen taught me something. She's, when you're lost for words, the best thing to do is just smile and say thank you.
You got it, Father. Man, good. What about it?